version where we say that the presence is alive and in this place. So here's your intro. Surely the presence is alive and in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence is alive and in this place. Surely the presence is alive and in this place. I can feel its mighty power and its grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence is alive and in this place.
Thank you, Don. As always, that's one of my favorite songs. Woo! I get all emotional, start feeling all that human stuff, and that's a good thing. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Nice to see all of you. And what do they say? It's nice to be seen, right? Yeah? No? Maybe? Okay. Actually, I had a bit of a different drive-in this morning because I'm pet and house sitting for some dear friends in Cartersville. So I've been up since 5 a.m. and I am ready and raring to go. So don't be messing with me this morning, okay? All right. Anyway, it's great to see all of you. I see a few new faces and some familiar ones. Thank you all for being here today. Actually, I pondered before I wanted to give this talk when I sent my information to Danny, because there's always so many things you want to talk about and share, and so much going on in the world out there. You think? There's a few things here and there. All right? Maybe, yeah, no. So that was it. Because I thought sometimes I'll hear something, or somebody will be saying something to me, or I'll read something and I'll go, yeah, no. Right? Isn't that what you'll do? Or you go, not yeah, no, but yeah, hell no. Might even say that. So you got to give yourself some grace and some room to express and know how you feel. So actually my talk is geared more towards spiritual clarity this morning. So I wanted to give you a context for yeah, no. Because I do think some cool things that I have found. I researched yeah, no. You'd be amazed at how much information is out there about this colloquial expression. Wow. Because I saw it, and I love to look at things, I didn't have my heart glasses today, but I love to look at things through really different eyes and different perspectives, which I think serves all of us. And I thought, well, it's like if you're going somewhere or you're going to be around people that you might feel a little uncomfortable around, okay? And you're going, okay, God, Buddha, Allah, Mother Mary, everybody, I really need some support today, okay? And so you're part of what's going on, and you're kind of maybe eavesdropping a little bit, or you're hearing something, or maybe somebody approaches you directly. Hopefully you're already grounded, right? And you're good. And you're listening because they want to share something with you. So they're sharing, and then it's sort of turns a little bit like not just sharing, but really wanting to make sure you're like aligned with them. Yeah? You ever had that happen before? I've never had that happen before, especially. Yeah, I know, good for me, right? So you're like, okay, so I really feel like it can be a way that we can be a compassionate listener. I really do. And we can empathize. And it doesn't mean we have to agree with it. It doesn't mean we have to align with what they're saying. There's a lot of aggression and anger out there in the world right now. You know, and I think us, if you choose to see yourself as a conduit of the Christ light, of the God light, of the Buddha light, whatever you want to call it, of a higher consciousness, then it behooves you to be very clear about where it is you stand. Very clear about not just who you are with your personality and all the conditioning you've been subjected to since you popped onto the planet, but what you are. What you are. And in unity, the first principle, what? There's a power and presence that around and through all things that we call God. And God is a word sometimes people get uncomfortable with. It doesn't matter to me. It's an energy. It's a consciousness. So I'm not attached to labels. Obviously, labels hounded me so much of my life, so throw out the labels. Right? Yeah. That's a big yeah. So you want to be clear about who you are, because I think one of the most difficult things, and I have found this, and perhaps you have too, is how do we navigate life on planet Earth? You hear, I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. Oh, gosh, really? Oh, if I'd known that, maybe I would have gone someplace else. I would have signed up for some other kind of agreement, or I would have made sure there was a weasel clause in there so I can opt out, right? So here you are. So when we can say, you know what, it's important to me to learn how to integrate, right, my soul self, my higher self, with my human self, the capital S self, with the small self, human self. That to me is what it's all about. And I wanted to read a little excerpt to you from some of you, most of you probably are familiar with Robert Brummett, Unity minister, wrote this book called The Quest for Wholeness, Healing Ourselves, Healing the World, as within, so without. And what I love that he says is, in the book anyway, he's actually quoting Ralph Waldo Emerson. It is easy in the world to live after the world's opinion. You're in the world and you're of the world too. So you're like doing both, like, oh, this is not working for me. Okay. It is easy in the world to live after the world's opinion. It is easy in solitude to live after our own. But great are they who in the midst of the crowd keeps with perfect sweetness the independence of solitude. Ooh, how does that feel? Again, when you can be in the world but not of the world, when you can know that you are the embodiment of all that is, the absolute, whatever you call it, if that's what, and that's a big if that's what you choose to believe, if that's what you ascribe to. So this morning, I always love to ask questions to you guys. You know that about me. So the thing is, what is it that you believe in? Do you know what that is? Do you know what you're about? Yeah, no, maybe, not so sure. What's that? More now than before. More now than before. So and some days you might be feeling, yeah, I know what I'm about. I'm feeling my autonomy. I'm exercising my spiritual sovereignty. Yeah, I am the light I am. I'm clear. No fuzziness, no distraction. I call it the AAA of the journey. You're anchored in, right? What are you anchored into? Do you know? That's a question maybe for you to go take inside and take a look at. You're anchored into maybe the ground of all being, to that which nourishes you, mind, body, heart, and soul, so that you can be nourished and you can flourish. Yes? Yeah. And you can grow through what you go through, like what I spoke about a few months ago. rather than going through it and feeling like you're tattered and torn, which we often do, but being able to glean something from that experience. So you're anchored in. And when you're anchored in, you begin to know that, what? You're not alone. That there's something else going on, not just out there, but within you. And that you are that very essence of life itself, of the infinite living and breathing and having its expression in only the way it can as each and every one of you. That's amazing. That's awesome. If that's something you choose to believe, again, I will throw that out there with it. So when you're anchored in, you begin to notice that you're starting to align. That's the second A. You're starting to align with an energy, with a frequency, with a God vibe, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of like, when you're on a journey or you drive, we'll use a car for an example, right? You get in your car and you're cruising around. So here you are cruising around in your Earth vehicle, in your Earth suit. Oh, you hit a pothole, throws you off, right? Oh, flat tire. Oh, okay. Who knows what happens on that journey? So what do you do, hopefully, with your car in terms of maintenance? Hopefully. Maybe you have the alignment checked periodically. Maybe you make sure that you've got good tires on your car so you can get some traction and be safe. Perhaps you get a tune-up. I don't really know. To me, I think the analogy, the metaphor is awesome, so that you, as this awesome vehicle traveling on your path, can say, whew, what am I anchored into? Am I aligned with the divine, or have I been thrown off course? And now it's time for me to bring myself back to center so that I can know that in every moment, any moment, as Lavon mentioned, I thought the daily word was great about guidance, intuition. That's where that comes from, that inner voice, that knowing. It's not even a belief or a thought. It's beyond that. It's knowing. It's beyond, we say, I have knowledge, but it's different than that. It's a knowing that you know that you know. And so when you're anchored and you're aligned, then instead of going, I'm not so sure what's going on here, you can say, you know what I choose in this moment? To allow. I think I did a talk one time about the art of allowing. We push and we resist when love, when God, when life itself is knocking at your door. Anybody home? Oh, I'm sleeping in today. Don't have time. Catch me later. Universe goes, okay. We'll make a note of that. Yeah, the knock at the door and you're going, yeah. No, not answering. I've done that plenty of times. So you got the AAA. You can go, okay. Road rescue, like the hero road thing, So when you're on your journey, you can say, am I clear with who I am? Do I really know what I'm all about? And why does it even matter? Why does it even matter? Do you believe you have a responsibility, a personal responsibility, a divine responsibility as an individual, part of the collective whole, and your role in it? Yes, shaking your head, yes. To know that whatever you do, whatever you say, your thoughts, your energy is always broadcasting all the time. Does it mean you're going to have moments and times when what's broadcasting from you isn't going to be so great? Of course. That's part of what I said earlier, that human experience. So you learn to be gentle with yourself and give yourself some grace and some room. to do the things that nourish you, as I said earlier, so you can flourish. Unity's fourth principle is what? You alluded to it earlier in your daily word. Prayer, meditation. Okay? Prayer and meditation. And I think Danny maybe started off the year with unity principles, if I'm not mistaken, in his talks. Okay. To me, prayer and meditation they're like the best ever. I can't even find, it's ineffable. There are no words for it. But that's just my personal experience with it. And when I say meditation, I'm not meaning to where you're sitting there in a lotus position with touching the appropriate fingers and chanting on a mountaintop, trying to transcend and remove yourself, yes, from this down here. Isn't that what we do? I sure did for a time. I got to get out of this place. I got to rise up and I got to transcend it. So let me go find my own personal mountaintop. I'm going to meditate and just, I'm going to do all the chakras. I'm going to line them up, make sure they got the right colors, they're in the right order. I'm going to be tuned in, tapped in, and turned on, as Abraham says, all that stuff. I'm going to go to every workshop, read every book. Wow. Whew. Yeah. I know. Kind of funny what we do, isn't it? And, and I'm a Gemini. I mean, I just had my 71st birthday a couple weeks ago. So I get excited about a lot of different things and variety. But I can tell you, for me, my mainstays are prayer and meditation. Meditation in particular, because it could be something as simple as going outside and hugging a tree, walking in the garden. Ooh, I just got God bumps. It always happens when it's like, yeah. It could be anything that you want it to be for you. Because we hear a lot out there about, make sure this, and this, check off the list that you're meditating correctly. I remember years ago, I was teaching part-time at the Atlanta School of Massage because I was a massage therapist for many years. And I added that to my counseling background so I could address body and mind. And they wanted an instructor who had a psychology background and a massage background. But I was teaching meditation classes there, but we couldn't call it meditation back then. We had to call it centering, because meditation was still kind of woo-woo-y, right? Was it not? Yeah. I mean, you would hear back in the day of TM. Yes, TM. We're good. So you'd hear all these different styles. And what I continue to encourage you to do is craft your own. Yeah? Your homegrown spirituality with the God of your understanding. It doesn't have to look like, feel like, smell like anybody else's. You could have your own fragrance of God, if you will. That sweet scent of spirit. To let it wash over you. We talk about infusion. Everything now from olive oil is being infused to you name it's being infused. How about you? Being a stick of incense and being infused by the Holy freaking Spirit. How awesome would that be? To wherever you go, oh man, I just caught a whiff of that person. That was great. The fragrance of God. Yeah? Wow. Patchouli? Yes, it would be. Of course it would. I know. Hey. I know. You got it. I mean, I've got my diffuser at home. Patchouli, patchouli, patchouli. Lavender. Yeah. Absolutely. In fact, I did wear my Buddha beads today. And I also wore this shirt because my talk is about this. Be kind, be kind, be kind, be kind to one another. Yes? But it begins with you being kind to what? You. That's where it starts. As you are with you, so you will be out there. Ooh, I know. Like, how am I with me, right? Because when you're clear and you're anchored in and you're aligned and you're allowing, life is different. Not because it's different, you're different. So prayer and meditation. And the first time I heard about prayer, it was like, oh, that's talking to God, and then meditation was considered listening. That's how I first heard it. And I go, no, that's okay. Back then I was like, oh yeah, because I just dove in to science of mind and unity way back in the day. I feel really old, but no, it's maybe 30 years ago. But anyway, so it was like, okay, but prayer, and I want to get really clear with these couple things before I close my talk this morning. I really invite you with prayer to pay attention to not so much what you say, but the consciousness from which you are praying. Pay attention to that. If you're praying out of fear, okay, you know, if you look on, what's his name? David Hawkins' scale of consciousness, right? And all the measuring of that, for those of you familiar with that. Fear and worry and doubt and all of those things are a very dense energy. You cannot access intuition, guidance from that place, as hard as you try. And if you do get something, chances are it's going to be ego-based anyway. And it's going to what? Perpetuate more fear-based experiences. The consciousness from which you pray. Science of mind calls it spiritual mind treatment. Unity calls it affirmative prayer. I already see you whole and perfect, just as you are. Every single one of you. Does it mean I deny or dismiss that you have something maybe going on in your human experience? Not anymore, but before I used to, because that's how I learned it. Well, just stop thinking those thoughts, and if you would just get your you know what together, your life would look different. Get rid of the stinking thinking, seriously. It's more than just this, it's this. It's coherence, for those of you who are familiar with Heart Math Institute, and coherence. So prayer and meditation, they open you up. It's a freaking portal to the presence and power of all that is. And it's a sweet, sweet place. It's a sweet, sweet place. And you already know what that is for you. Or maybe it's been such a long time since you felt it, or maybe you've never felt it. I don't want to be presumptuous in making that statement. But today, this morning, right now, I encourage you, I invite you. If you're not sure and you're going, yeah, no, I don't know. Where am I with this? With all that's going on out there, I really invite you to get crystal clear with you, to know what you're about, to stand in your truth, what resonates with you, to stand in that place and move and live and have your being out of that place, out of that Christ-like consciousness of oneness, of unity. Because we are all in this together, whether we want to be or not. And you look out there and you go, there's no way that I could possibly be part of any of that. It's like, seriously? But remember, you will never look into the eyes of a person that God does not love. Ever. No exceptions. Yeah, I got those God bumps again. That's big. Is it easy? Hell no. But can you do it? Yes, you can. When you're what? Three things. What did I say? You're anchored, you're aligned, and you're allowing. Allowing. One with the flow. I am the flow. And that's all what you need to know. That's all you need to know. And let that wisdom, let that light, that insight, that guidance that Lavon spoke of, let that be what helps you on your path so that your body can go, wow, this feels really good today. And you might even notice some differences in your health. You might be surprised. And you might even hear a voice that says, wow, this is God. I'm having a great time as you today. Thank you. Yeah? Thank you. Don's going to prepare us now for a time of what? Meditation.
Awaken in me the joy I have known. Open my eyes to see how I have grown. Help me show kindness to all here on earth. Awaken in me a rebirth.
I invite you right now just to be right where you are in your most amazing body as your most amazing self. Notice your breath as it finds its way through you, through your muscles, as you feel it maybe entering your nose or your mouth, and you feel that breath of life as it courses through every cell and fiber of your being. This magnificent human body, with all of its innate wisdom, its brilliance. And feel that oxygen nourishing your muscles, your bones, your blood, all the organs and systems in your body that work so well together, communicate, collaborate. In this thing called you, in this divine creation of the Most High. Just allow that breath to move into your body and feel it as it moves all the way through your nose and your throat, down your neck and your chest, out to your arms and your fingertips, all the way back to your trunk, to your belly, your hips, your back, your legs, all the joints, all these muscles are holding together. Feeling that breath move down to your ankles and to your feet, to the very soles of your feet and tips of your toes. And as you're sitting in your chair right now, just imagine this chair supporting you, allowing it to do what it, allow it to do what it so desires to do, as God does. Imagine it feeling like God, wrapping God's arms around you and you being held and supported in this moment of now. Your feet on the floor, wherever they may be, anchored. Feeling that breath. allowing it to breathe you as it has from the moment you first took that breath. Just feel that power and presence. Strengthening you, caressing you. Just bathing your body inside and out. We give thanks for this immersion into the infinite right now. This infusion of spirit in every molecule and atom and cell, every aspect of our physical being. We feel it. We open to it and we allow it. We allow it to love us, to nourish us. And on your next breath, I allow you to breathe even more deeply and fully and naturally. And on that exhale, just letting go of all that no longer serves you this morning. Just let it be carried away, transmuted, and returned to be repurposed into this planet, the cosmos, and beyond. From this moment forward, with every breath you breathe, know that you are blessed beyond words, and you are loved unconditionally, just as you are, and all is well.
Awaken in me the joy I have known. Open my eyes to see how I have grown. Help me see kindness to all here on earth. Awaken in me a rebirth. Awaken in me a time to renew. Guide me to see love in all things I do. Darkness will fade and the light will return. Awaken in me a rebirth.